Alright, so I'm gonna be rewinding
Alright,
the video
so
back and forth here just because I
there we
want to see
go.
the level of team play that goes
Soldier.
on
What's
here
up,
in
guys?
bronze. So
Hey, how's it going?
It's
I've
going,
already
man.
We
checked
have
out
a
a little bit
Reinhardt
of the video,
Good.
and a
so
Pharah with me
So,
as
who do you guys prefer?
I'm
as a
gonna
soldier. We
skip
have
forward a little bit.
another healer. Kinda like always having like two healers
Yeah,
instead of having
so
How do you all feel about
three.
maybe going to the
as you
Rise?
said, 222 is usually the general meta per se. So you always want to have like two tanks, two supports, or two DPS. But at this level of elo, team comp doesn't matter too much as opposed to personal play, just because there's not a whole lot of team play at this level. So it's just kind of disoriented team fights and all that. But having two supports is usually good because they're able to keep people up. So it's just a
Yeah, it's kinda weird. Never mind.
Sure.
Zenyatta, yeah, that's better.
I'll be busy
I would like maybe more like Mora since she seems to have higher DPS than Zenyatta. So, and since we only have like me and Farah as damage in our team, I would think that maybe having Moira it's better.
okay. So quick lesson here. Moira would not be a good choice with your current team comp, and here's why. So Mercy Zen is one of the best heal combos in the entire game. So with two supports, you usually want one main heal and one off heal. If you were to have Moira, you would have two main heals, and they would be fighting each other for all charge. And it's not really just good to have two main heals because, as I said, it'll just take longer for them to get their ults. And here's another thing. So with Zen, Zen is actually a beast. His Discord orb is insanely valuable. Like it just melts enemies. And also with Zen, you're able to attack people from a distance, and you could even get like picks from across the entire map. And so I do play Zen a lot, and there's been times where I've gotten gold, um, gold damage in diamond matches, and like even just hard carried as Zen. So if you're able to play him well and actually aim, he's basically a DPS. Like if you look up Jay Jonak, he is a top 500 Overwatch League, and he even gets gold damage as Zenyatta in like those top 500. So if it's just a quick lesson on supports there, you have your main heals, Mercy, Moira, and Anna, and then you have your off heals, which are Lucio and Zen. So Mercy Zen is actually a really, really good combo because an another thing too is if you were to have Mercy Moira, you wouldn't really have a defensive alt. So if they had like a Dragon Blade or just attack visor or just something else like that, you wouldn't be able to counter it as opposed to with Transcendence with Zen, which can counter so many alts and just literally save team fights. So Zen is a really good heal, and so that's just a little tip for the future.
Alright, 15 seconds.
There's a ton of theories about um, heal combos on Reddit and YouTube and all that. If you care to look some of them up, they'll probably explain it better than I do, but that's a general rundown of
Let's
how that
go.
goes.
So
So
this
you should
map,
be
if I
sprinting
remember
out of spawn
correctly,
here.
is a map that I don't really like since it's really easy to siege.
You kind
If
of
you
always
have
want to
like
sprint
Torbjorn
as
and a Bastion,
soldier because it just makes you
really
harder
hard
to
to play
hit. It's
against.
just better
Yeah,
mobility.
that's what I thought.
And you're right about the Torb and the Bastion there.
Missed that.
So you
Moving
should be running to your
outside.
team. Good, good, good.
Have someone here.
Reload, reload,
Check if I can
reload,
kill him.
reload. Alright, so you just need a little bit
If
better
I can kill.
awareness of your ammo. So right here, like you should be
Moving
reloading because
outside.
you're not shooting anything and you're not really doing
Have
anything. So
someone
if you were to
here.
encounter an enemy, you would want to be
Check
at
if I can
full
kill
ammo.
him.
Like right here, see? If you had more ammo, you could have continued to fire at Winkery and possibly taken him out. And This goes back to your sprint too.
6 seconds.
If you knew someone was over
We
there,
have someone here.
reload and then sprint towards them.
6
Like you have your
seconds
team to
left.
follow up with you, so if you just kind of sprint at McCree there with full ammo,
Ah,
you probably
missed.
would have been able to take him out.
Reload.
Good, good. Pressure the shield, poke. So here's something I would have done. If I saw
Reload.
a majority of the team was right here with Ryan's shield, I'm pretty sure you know, but there's like a little ledge over here. I'm gonna just let the video play and see if I can get a better view.
Hurts. Heal.
Yes, yes, yes. So if you were to stand right here, you would have been able to shoot down at the team and you would have had the high ground. And since Ryan was over here, he wouldn't have been able to protect his team with his shield. So you would have been able to do some damage to the people that were here, just kind of like right here on point. And you just would have been more effective as opposed to just shooting the shield. So just a little tip. Good, good.
Wait,
Shoot, shoot,
I
shoot.
can find a backline. I can maybe do some damage.
Reload.
Reload. Ah. Alright. We have an opening.
You should have continued to shoot at the diva there. So let me go back again.
We have an opening.
So you see Diva just kind of standing there, just shooting at somebody. You should call that out to your team and tell them like, hey, Diva, left side alone, and just kind of call her out because she's free all charge. She doesn't have a shield like Ryan, and she's such a massive target that you could just kind of farm your all off of her and do some damage, possibly take her out of mech. So that actually is a good biofield. So here's just a quick tip on the biotic field too. When you use it, you want to use it in the middle of a team fight kind of. So like when you're actively taking damage, like you had Diva shooting at you and just kind of the people behind McCree's shield just poking at you. So you're gonna be able to heal your entire team and just get more alt charge, which is really good. You don't really want to use your biofield if like you're up here and like you just take a little bit of poke damage and like you would hide behind a corner and drop it. That's a poor use of it. Um, So try not to use it if like you're alone or hidden behind a corner unless you absolutely have to. You usually want to save it for your entire team to just kind of help out. So you guys should still be shooting Diva here. You guys probably could have taken her out of mech right there.
Oh, fuck. Ouch. Alright. Let me try to. No. Alright.
Mercy is Valk. You guys should push him. Ooh, that was a good block by your Ryan.
Kinda failed.
So your Ryan just went in, so you guys gotta go in too. Good, good, good. So a quick thing here. You see sim turrets on the left and the right side. So if you're gonna go through this doorway, you're gonna take that damage straight to the face along with like, it looks like a Lucio's kind of shooting at you. So I wouldn't be surprised if you died here. Um, if I were you again, I would have probably dropped my field like kind of close to the point here, right outside, and I would have taken out these sim turrets so that way I don't have to worry about them. And
Whereas. Oh.
yeah, see you just like walk into a bunch of
Pretty
damage
much
there.
right there, I think.
It's unfortunate your Zen couldn't trance a little bit
One
sooner.
here. Gonna die. Well,
It looks like your team is able to follow up with it though.
at least we got one. Maybe two. No, only one.
Yeah, we just got both fucking supports.
So McCree, you got both your supports,
Oh,
that's
very hard to
unfortunate.
Let me see if I can help him.
Reload, reload, reload.
Coming, baby. Alright. Alright.
Nice, guys.
So jump on that McCree. Everyone should be on him. Kill him.
Alright.
Good, good, good.
Ah. Ah, fuck me. Oh no.
So
No.
you probably could have avoided
Be
that death right
careful
there.
already.
Nice, guys.
So I wouldn't have expected them to try to contest you guys still,
Be
but they were able to
careful.
manage. So as soon as you see that Ryan, and you know they have a Junkrat, I wouldn't have stayed here on point. I actually would have taken my butt. Oh shit. I bet.
Lunar side. Guys.
Nice, guys.
Alright,
Be careful. Already
so
hard.
I would have seen Ryan and I would have seen him charge, and I would have tried to run out the back door here because you don't have any support, so you don't have any sustain per se. So I would have like ran out that back door, and I would have dropped my biofield and just shot at the Ryan as he charged on point. Because if you were to stay on point with a Junkrat and just other people firing at you, it's just like a really enclosed space where you're susceptible to a lot of damage, and that's not too good.
Alright.
Yeah, you
Ah,
would have avoided that
fuck
death
me.
from Ryan
Oh
too.
no! No, I misclicked my R.
I'm not sure if that was a panic ult, but you said it was a misclick, and that's really unfortunate.
Alright,
It
let's
seemed
try
like
to
they
group
were
up
able
and
to
go
take
for
it
another
back,
big
yeah.
push. We did pretty good that time.
Yeah, one more
Yeah.
big push and we'll get this point.
Yeah, he's kinda right.
Soldier,
just
let's wait up for
unfortunate.
everybody else, please.
Alright.
I like the
Thank
comms on
you.
your team and
I'm
telling
ready
him to
for it.
wait.
Okay, I'm here.
So what he said, like, people trickle in all elos. It's not just like a lower elo type of thing. It's just so it's just nice to remind people.
We'll try for the right again.
Reload. Good, good, good. So you should always be firing as soldier, whether it's a
Healing,
shield or
please.
even just poke damage, because you always want to just try to generate ult charge, because your ult can do team
Thank you.
wipes. Ooh, ooh.
Fuck
Now
it.
that
My
that
bad.
was a huge mistake.
Thank
So I wouldn't have expected McCree to be up there, because your entire team is with you and
Healing,
they kind of see you
please.
pushing, so it's kind of suicidal of him. So I would have reloaded, and as soon as you came up those stairs, you should have seen McCree and just not done what you're doing now. You continue to try to do any type of like voice line, like trying to say thank you to your team, but if you're able to say that in chat, that would just be easier as opposed to thank you, because right now McCree is right on top of you and he flashbangs you and destroys you all while you're just trying to write thanks, so you didn't even kind of stand a chance in that.
Thank you.
That's just kind of unlucky that he got you there
Toxic.
and your team
My
didn't
bad.
push up.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking.
It's a
Got
good
it.
thing by your mercy though.
Back.
So again, as I said, like right now you're not really providing any value to your team. You're just kind of standing up here shooting at a wall while your team is just kind of poking at them. So you either need to be like up here right next to your Ryan poking down at the point, or as I said, you need to be over here on this ledge shooting down at them, because I think there's a couple of them that are poking through the doorway right there that are just like kind of poking at your team too. So you would just be able to do a lot more damage, because as I said, with Soldier you always want to be firing. Not sure what D was doing over there.
I've got to recharge my barrier.
If we can get another good push, I'm pretty sure we can win this.
Dang, that McCree is
So
bold.
close.
So you guys are even in the team fight, so you still stand a chance.
Ah, fuck me. I'm so dead. Yep.
So this is just another thing with general awareness. You saw Rainu's shatter once in the fight, so you should assume, since it's the end, that everyone has their ult. You should assume Lucio has beat drop, Diva has her bomb, McCree just uses high noon, so Ryan will have shatter. I think Moira, she may have convalescence again. She builds that ult pretty fast. And Sim, well, Sim can't really do much with her ult damage terms, but I wouldn't have expected Ryan to push you up here, honestly. So that kind of would have caught me off guard too. But if you were able to stand over here, you would have seen maybe Ryan like walking towards you guys to come up the stairs for that shatter, and you could have warned your team like, hey, Ryan's coming up the stairs, because it looks like he got like 3 or 4 of you. So you may have been able to lessen that load a bit
Ah,
there.
fuck me. I'm so dead. Yep. Ah. Well, at least they didn't have like a Bastion or a Torbjorn, so it was more fun to play against, because when you have like Torbjorn Bastion, it's
Guys
so
may be
annoying
able
to play
to take it
against.
back. Oh no, Junkrat's higher OP.
At least I tried.
Just would have dropped my battlefield as soon as I got on point there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh well, maybe. Oh, I know it's over. Oh yeah, it's over. Oh well. Uh, maybe I could have played better. I did die like 5
All
times.
good, guys.
So first round general tips. Your accuracy is what I would generally expect. It doesn't seem like it's too high. You just need to practice a bit and get used to the keyboard mouse controls. So the main mistakes I saw from you were just your positioning. So a lot of the time you're just kind of set, standing behind a wall, not doing any damage. You're just like kind of confused as to where the enemy was. So as I said, like I would have probably stood on that ledge over there and just shot down at the team because you would have been able to do more damage because you can see your values right here isn't too much, which as a soldier you should try to always try to have like silver or gold usually. But that was pretty much the main issue is just I would communicate to your team a bit more to people that are out of position like that diva that was to the left of point um that you probably could have demeched when you almost won the first fight. And so let's just see what you can do on defense.
We'll just have to try and hold.
So I kind of did 5 times maybe. If I
Yeah, you could have
if I
avoided the
think
McCree
a
death
bit
with your
more
voice.
before running like a madman.
Yeah,
So
you just need to
I think I'm gonna wait,
try and
see
get a
what
bit
can I
more
play.
awareness, which is something that just comes with playtime.
I would have maybe rather you have Orisa instead of Reinhardt. If you have a Bastion, it's easier to shield.
That's true.
So right now we have we have two healers, so I'm gonna take Soldier again. I really don't know if Soldier is good in this map. Um, this is very something that I lack.
I always
Oh
play
yeah, that's
soldier on
better.
this map.
Something that I probably lack that I don't really know which champion is good in which map, but I do not think it really matters in bronze elo.
Yeah, at Bronze Elo it doesn't matter too much because if you were to get into the map specifics of each hero, like that's a topic that I could talk about for like hours. If you have any questions on specific maps or team comps or just things you kind of feel lost on, I can help you out on that. Oh, but something I did see, I saw your heal combo was Merciana, so you're not gonna have a defensive alt there like with
Maybe
Zen or
here,
anything,
seems like
and
a good place
they're
to
gonna be
try to DP
fighting
them a
each
little
other for
bit.
alt charge, so that's not too good. As I said, I just don't like two main heals as a combo.
Thank you. Too far from the team, but no, I'm kinda close. I'm gonna try here.
So I wouldn't stand there if I were you. So you have the right idea kind of about the high ground. So right here is not too bad, but I would stand more on the other side over here. Because if you were over here, typically the teams always come from this side right here, so you'd be able to shoot down and poke through and do some damage. And if anyone chases you or if you get low, you can just drop back behind point and you won't risk any damage taken there. But this isn't a bad position.
Alright, see one
You
here.
just don't want to stand in the
There.
middle. Good, 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 yeah. Right here. So
I
see
don't
you're able
think
to
they
poke
saw
and
me
shoot.
yet.
They're all coming around.
So quick tip with soldiers. So after his first 4 shots, he has a spread. So you should try to like burst fire his shots if that makes sense. So you don't just want to hold left click. You just want to like kind of tap it per se because you'll just be more accurate and you'll be able to land more shots.
Oh, she saw me. Alright.
So you
Here,
weren't
that was
necessarily
good.
forced to
Saw me.
drop yet. She may
They're all
have
coming around.
seen you,
Oh,
but she didn't fly at you. You should have only dropped if she flew at you, because if you were to able to stay up here while they were, let me just rewind a bit.
saw me.
They're all coming around.
If you were able to stay up here while they're all coming up, you would be able to poke and just do damage to all these people that are just kind of spread out, because I don't think Rain will be able to block them all. But you shouldn't have dropped unless she flew at you, because if she flies at you, then you can just drop behind point. But you weren't really pressured there, so you didn't have to drop.
Oh, Tommy. Alright. Here, we're not risk it.
Two teammates on the left
Progressing.
are alone there and out of
It's a
position.
I'm so dead. Maybe not.
Yeah, that was just kind of poor positioning by your
Progressing.
teammates there. There's not much you could do. Your Anna didn't need to be that close to Ryan. She should have been on point healing him from a distance, and Ryan shouldn't really have been up there in general. He should have been on point with your team.
I'm so dead. Maybe not.
Reload, reload.
Need healing.
Yeah, both of the supports are dead again.
Ah, fuck. Yeah, should have paid more attention. Yeah, both of sport died seems.
Well, good game, guys.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
Yeah, that was just
Oh,
kind of
I tried.
unfortunate.
I really
So
think
that
I
wasn't
played
so
badly this
much of your fault.
one. Group probably done better. So
On
I
it,
do maybe a recap of the match. I'd say that.
New defense point. Objective B.
Yeah, I know. I really played badly this one. So far, we died less. Not rushing like a madman. Would have saved me like a couple of hits and like 6 times alert for me, 3 kills. Yeah, was probably more of a burden for the team.
yeah, so on attack, you definitely could have done more. As I said, just with your positioning, you could have done just more damage to the people who are out of position. Always try to get people who are out of position, because I mean, sorry about that. They're usually easy kills, and you would have been able to poke at Ryan past his shield and just do other damage. On defense, you could have continued to stay on the high ground because Diva didn't really fly at you to pressure you. Um, and also, it's a good place to be because since they had a Junkrat, he would have a harder time to hit you and all that. But the reason you lost that defense point was because you had your Ana and your Ryan to the left side, and they were there alone while the rest of your team was on point, so they didn't really have any protection. So what you could have done on comms is like, hey guys, get back on point. Like, we need you on point. You're out of position. They just say something generally like that, like you're, because they got attacked from both sides, and Ana got taken out by Diva from that um, high ground spot I told you about. And then from then on, it was a 6v4, and there wasn't much you could do at that point.